Hello my fellow spuds and welcome to a special video on the channel. Today we're going to be doing my little Q&A video as a little special thanks for me getting to 15k, although I'm quite past that now, so I apologize how late this is. But I thought what I'll do is I'll play a little bit of Kerbal Space Program, specifically with Kerbalism and a few other mods thrown in that should make the gameplay significantly interesting. In this little scenario we're only going to be doing Sandbox. We'll just type it Q&A and away we go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Minmus. I'm going to set up a little base, hopefully one that will be fairly self-sufficient. So Kerbalism adds a hell of a lot of stuff to the Kerbal Space Program. For example, it adds food, it adds stress, it adds habitat, it adds water, oxygen, nitrogen for atmosphere, you name it, it adds a hell of a lot of stuff. So we're going to have to be careful when we plan this because we're going to need a way to generate oxygen, we're going to need a way to generate food, we're going to need a load of other stuff to make these guys feel adequately housed while we're over there, so we're going to want to plan this fairly well. The habitats can be upgraded or changed depending. You can have high quality or you can have low quality. So we're going to want to have high quality for stuff just because we're on Sandbox, it doesn't really matter. But if we were in Korea, this would cost a hell of a lot more money. So we're going to want to be careful doing this, but we might as well just go to the max just because. We're going to also want to worry about shielding to a certain extent because radiation is a big thing in this and we can mitigate it to a certain extent. So I think at least having the landing modules with heavy shielding would probably be very much needed. Configure the pod, waste processor, probably better, and let's go to another scrubber. That'll do. So this will be our little landing module, which will be nice, and we're going to want to have a few extra bits. For example, we're going to need some pressurized tanks to store various bits in. How big is huge? Oh, that's very big. We could have one that's oxygen, I guess. Let's have both of them oxygen. That should be fine, I'm guessing. We're going to also want a greenhouse. There we go. That's what we're after. So we're going to want one of them, and we're going to chuck a few different bits on it for life support. So we're going to want to have a greenhouse. We're going to want to have a food container just because. Let's have one that contains water. That will do. We're going to want to have a life support recycler. And that means we're probably going to want to have one of them that is hydrogen, I'm guessing. And another one of them that is nitrogen. Right, so we're going to want to have a scientist and engineer. Yeah, that's fine with me. Apparently it's very cramped, so we're going to need some more space. So while I'm building this, I'll just go through and build all this just off camera because it's going to take a little while to get this sorted. I'll answer some questions. So first of all, first question, what other games are you wanting to play, if any? And what would I like to play for the future is basically what a bunch of you asked. Really, there's a bunch of different games I'm planning on playing in the future. One of the things I really want to do is do a lot more RimWorld. So RimWorld is my favorite game by far out of anything, just because of the replayability, the modding community. It's just an all-round amazing game. I've got just under 2,000 hours in it, so I've played it for quite a long time. I've done so many different colonies. It's so creative that you can do anything with it. But what I'd really like to do is do a lot more of that on the channel. I'd like to do some more proper narrative with it. I think they'll be really fun to do a proper narrative playthrough of RimWorld. On top of that game, I'd really like to do some 7 Days to Die, maybe some RPGs like Fallout and Skyrim. I think that'd be really fun to do as a proper narrative. The Long Dark, I think, would be quite fun. I know I did a series on The Long Dark a while ago, but I think I didn't really give it justice it deserved, so I'd really like to redo that. Maybe some little random bits like this War of Mine. I think that would be really fun to... Well, it's not really fun. It's really dark and depressing, but I think it'd be quite good to do. Maybe some Valheim, Frostpunk, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of games I really want to do in the future. I just don't have the time to do it. There's just so many that I want to put out there. I wish I had more time to do more videos because that's what I want to do. There's so many videos that I want to do, so many series I want to put out there. Kind of tying in with that question, are there any games that you'd like to record a series but don't think they'd fit the channel? And on the flip side, are there any that you think they'd fit the channel but you don't want to do them? So Kerbal Space Program is one of those ones. I mean, I've turned it into a survival scenario with all these mods, especially Kerbalism, but it doesn't really fit the channel that well. Including that, there's a couple of bits like maybe Factorio that I would really like to do a series on, although it doesn't quite fit. Maybe city colonization things, maybe like Banished, colony sim style, but they're more city builder type things. On top of that, so maybe like Stardew Valley. It's not survival, but it's really, really fun, and I really enjoy doing it. So some games like that I think would be really, really fun to do. Games that I think fit perfectly with the channel, but I'm not really interested in doing. There's only like a handful of games I think that I'm in that bag, because most of the games I play I really enjoy and I'd really like to do a series on, but I think maybe Outward is probably one of those games. It kind of fits with the channel. It's like kind of survival, start off with nothing, but I just never got into it. I really tried to enjoy it. On paper, I should really enjoy it, but I found it a real struggle to get into it. I found it really slow, clunky. Maybe it's improved since I played it. It has been a few years now, but I'm just not that interested in picking it up again. Same with, weirdly, Don't Starve. I do like it, but I am absolutely horrendous at it, which ties in with another question, which is, are there any games you're terrible at but you still love? Yes, I love Don't Starve, but I am horrible at it. I mean, if you guys want to see me fail miserably at Don't Starve, then yeah, I may do a mini-series on it, but I'm just awful at it. Tying in with that, are there any videos you want to do other than video games on YouTube? Yes, but on this particular channel, probably not. I think if I was going to do that, I'd probably make a secondary channel and kind of tie in with this one. Maybe some real life stuff to do with where I live, so Isles are silly, just because there's not really many videos out there about it, and it is a beautiful, beautiful place. It's kind of a hidden gem in the UK. It's not really very well known about. Before I came over here to do seasonal work at the bar, I didn't know about it. It's just really, really nice, and it would be nice to do some bits like that. I haven't shown my face on camera yet, so I'm probably going to do that soon, to be honest. I was going to try and do it for this, but honestly, I couldn't find my webcam in time to do it. I've got no idea where it's gone, so... but I was going to show my face for this, but I can't, annoyingly. So maybe doing something like that in the future might be quite good. Who knows? What would you have done if YouTube didn't work? Well, honestly, it probably wouldn't have changed a huge amount for me, because I still work a full-time job on top of this. I've got a really boring admin job where I just put data entry and answer phone calls, emails, that sort of thing. I probably would have just stuck with that. I would have had a lot more free time on my hands if I didn't do YouTube. And I have no idea what I would do with all that free time, to be honest. I'd probably be still playing Project Zomboid, just not on camera. I didn't start this to make money. I didn't start it to get loads of subscribers. I did it for confidence building. When I started, I did it because I wanted to improve my speaking skill and my video editing skill because I was doing a marketing apprenticeship at the time. That's really the base of why I started this, because I wanted to just improve upon myself. I never expected to get to where I am today. I never expected to even get monetized, like, at all. I thought maybe max I might get monetized after 5 years. That's what I expected. And I'm completely blown away by the support you've all given me. So thank you so much for all of your incredible support. Tying in with a couple of other questions, I didn't expect this growth at all this fast. Just not at all. If you'd said to me right at the start, within 16 months you'll be at, well, 16.5k subscribers, I would have just said no, there's no way. So I just want to say thank you to all of you, because you've really made my year. This has been an incredible journey, so thank you so much for all of your support. You're just all amazing. What are your biggest goals on YouTube? Where do you see the channel in 5 years time? I suppose my biggest goal, like really out there, is to get 100,000 subscribers. That's the biggest dream I can possibly come up with. I don't even know if I'll ever get there. I don't know if I'll get there in 5 years time, 10 years time, but that is my dream goal. If I ever got to that stage, I would be incredibly happy, incredibly content, and I wouldn't really know what to do with myself at that point. Where do I see my channel in 5 years time is mainly not how many subscribers I've got, though. It's where I am in my lifestyle. In 5 years time, I'd really like to dedicate more time to YouTube. I'd really like to maybe reduce my hours in my full-time job, so I go part-time and then go part-time between that and YouTube. It'd be really nice to dedicate more time to this so that I've got more time to improve upon my videos, do more videos. Currently, my videos are recorded on a Saturday, and then if I don't record a video during that time, I have to make it up in my lunch breaks at work. So I also edit at night, so my editing normally happens between about 9:30 when my child goes to sleep, and then normally I'm not done editing till about 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. It's been working so far, but it's pretty tiring. If I had more time on my hands, or I was able to reduce the number of hours work-wise, I would dedicate more time to YouTube and have a better structural working time. So that is my plan for 5 years time, is that I, for at least 1 day a week, that I kind of take off from work and I dedicate to YouTube. That's where I see myself in 5 years time. That's what I'm really hoping I can do. Right, okay, and a couple more questions. Do you think Santa Claus is real? Yeah, I guess. I think it's real in a sense. I think it unites people and something, especially for children, to look forward to. So let's say yes. Because, yeah, if I say no, then I won't get any presents this year. Looking back at your career, have you anticipated that you'll receive this much good feedback? No, I didn't anticipate I'd receive this much good feedback. I think the problem with human nature is that you remember the bad feedback and you don't tend to remember the good feedback as much. It's just the way human brains work, which is incredibly frustrating. So if I get 100 good feedback comments and it make me feel really, really happy, and then I get one negative comment, that one is the one that always sticks in my head, which is incredibly frustrating because I know that I might have 100 good comments and one negative one, but that kind of is how it always works in my head. I think any negative feedback I have got, I do take on board and I do try to improve upon myself. So I do encourage anyone, rather than just leave a dislike on the video, I'd rather you write a comment and say why you dislike it, because I will happily take criticism and feedback on board so I can improve. That being said, I absolutely love all the great feedback and positive feedback that you guys give me, so thank you so much for everyone who does give me positive feedback, because it's really nice to come home after work and go on YouTube and see all the nice comments that you guys have left me. So thank you everyone who does leave me nice comments. I mean, thank you to those who leave constructive criticism. That's also really nice. So just thank you everyone who does comment. It's just really nice in general. Right, that should be plenty to actually get us down. So we've got a number of different rockets. These should get us easily. These two stages should easily get us on our way to Minmus. This should easily have enough to land. We can then hang around and have a lovely time. We should be able to get enough resources from these to keep ourselves going. We've got a couple of probes. One that's so that we can set up a satellite dish around Kerbin, and another so that we can set one up around Minmus. We should then have enough power, enough everything, don't know why that's there, to keep us going for quite a long time. If we have a look at our little bit, so our habitat is really good, our pressurization is good, we've got enough stress for 4 years, which is nice. This will improve once these are inflated, these little pods. We've got enough food for 3 years, however we do have a greenhouse, so once that starts turning on, it will last significantly longer. And yeah, everything should be a-okay basically. We've got drill for ammonia, drill for nitrogen, we've got the drills for water, so we should be able to run this greenhouse pretty much indefinitely. The only thing might be temperature. There we go, that should be perfect. Double check that everything is high. Yeah, good. Right, anyway, that is the rocket done, so let's test this out. God, look at this monstrosity. This looks horrendous. Right, Jebediah, Bill, and Bob, you're ready? You're all set? What is going on with these? I don't know what's going on with these radiators. Right. I think it's time that we launched this thing. So, let's go. Oh god, okay. This is very slow. This should technically have enough Delta V to get us to Minmus easily. We've got this chemical plant that we should be able to make our own liquid fuel once we get to Minmus, hopefully as long as we land somewhere that has ample supply of water, ammonia, and nitrogen. It'll be interesting to see if we can find something that has that, but we will see. So, we're on our way. We're doing it. Hopefully we get there. Hopefully we'll be okay. That starts slowly but surely tilting. This probably should have been doing this beforehand to reduce the speed of the rocket. You know, that should be fine. We'll just kind of cruise on the solid fuel for a second. Okay, there we go. Now we're in orbit. Right, so just wait a little bit and there we go. We are sorted. We'll wait till we get out into the atmosphere and then we'll release the solar panels and we'll be gravy. Let's do prograde just so we are okay. If we can. What is our... literally just 70. Right. Perfect. Please move. I need you to move, rocket. You're literally going through me at the moment. Oh, this isn't good. This is going to be tight whether this clears before we can actually accelerate. I don't know if it's going to. Oh, right. Is it gonna... we're starting to decrease. Come on. And there we go. Right, go. Right, we're gonna have to stabilize it a little bit so our apiapsis is back. Come on. Right. Misjudge that. Come on. Hey, there we go. Right. Nicely speed that along. That's fine. Let's just leave that for a little bit. Yeah, and I'll answer another question while we're doing this. What is life like living on an island? It's very strange. I'm not from here originally. To answer another question, I live on St. Mary's, which is the largest island on the Isles of Scilly, which is just off the coast of Cornwall, UK. Yeah, it's very different. There's not really anything here. It's beautiful scenery, lots of walks. There's like 5 pubs, I think, on the island, but there's barely any shops. There's nothing like a cinema or like a nightclub or anything like that. There's not really much here. So you have to be, I think, in the right mindset to be able to live here, because otherwise I think you'll go a bit stir crazy. Yeah, it's really nice living here. It's really relaxed. It's really chill. There's like no crime here. I think there's 2 miles of road. It's like tiny amount of road. Yeah, it's very strange, especially coming from the city, but it's just incredibly nice. Crap. I need to get Fill out. Come on. Right, so one of the things that Kerbalism adds is, which is slightly frustrating, is that engines only have so much use. So after a couple of burns, basically, the engine will run out of burns. So what we need to do is we need to get really close, service the engine. There we go. And then go back down. Steady as she goes. Come on. Get in that hatch. There we go. Board. Okay. Right, so we're slowly going up to prograde. We should now have one ignition left. Good. Okay, so we are just waiting, basically, to get in position. And we should be able to burn until we are in orbit. Let's just start it a little bit. We will go into prograde. Right, we're going to want to slow right down. We will turn that so the thruster output is basically nothing, just because we've got no ignitions left, so we don't really actually want to turn it off. Now what we want to do is we want to set Minimus as a target. What we will do is we will add maneuver. Can we just get there straight from one maneuver? Yes. Good. Okay. How close is that? That should be all right. I'll do. What I'll do while I'm waiting, actually, is I will get Bill out again just to service it, just because. While we're out here, right, and then we need to get the solar panels all up and running because we don't have any power going to this currently, so that would be good to do. Come on, service engine. There we go. Okie dokie. One question while we're waiting for this is, why did you name your channel IslandPotato? I named that because I live on an island. And yeah, there was a running joke when I was at school, which was that I wasn't actually human. I was the product of a genetically engineered potato. And it kind of stuck, really. So I decided that that's what I was going to call myself as a channel. So yeah, that's basically the reason. Because I live on an island and I'm a genetically engineered potato. Right, we're going to want to be careful. We've only got this one ignition left. So let us start that again. Got 0 ignitions. Oh, it's maneuver, not target. Duh. Right. Whack that up. We should easily be able to get there. We've got plenty of fuel left. There we go. Right. That should mean that there we go. Right, we're now going to encounter Minmus at some point in the future. That's nice. We are slowly running out of water. Food-wise, they haven't used up any food yet, but that's going to change soon. So what we're going to want to do is quickly turn on some other bits and bobs that we've got going on. I mean, that, and the greenhouse is already growing. Time to harvest 4 years. Seriously? 4 years to harvest? Why? Artificial lighting, 0. So I need artificial lighting. I did pack some with me, I think, so that would be good to set that up eventually. Yeah, we are getting water back, which is nice. Carbon dioxide is running out. Plants look a little bit unhappy. Yeah, I'm not surprised. They filed a formal complaint. Okay, so yeah, we're not getting a huge amount of carbon dioxide, so that's might be a slight issue in terms of generating food. We do have plenty of food, though, so we'll be fine regardless. We might just have to ship another container at some point over. But anyway, this is just a brief snippet of what it could be like, so we should be fine. Hopefully once we land, we can get some artificial light going on. We've got these guys in a proper containment unit. It'll be fine. Crap, I just realized I never released the probe, did I? I could just release one now, though, and then that might help a little bit. Undock. Right, extend solar panels. Extend the antenna. And there we go. Right. That should be fine. We've got some electrical charge. That's all well and good. We're going to want to point that if we can. There we go. So we're pointing at Kerbin. That's fine and dandy with me. And that can just help transmit anything that we've got going from the main ship. Let's just accelerate time until we get nearer Minmus. There we go. Everything's fine. What are we losing out on? We're actually gaining ammonia, which is nice. Yeah, we're doing all right. Water-wise, we're gaining water, which is nice. Food has barely gone down at all. Carbon dioxide is basically neutral. I'm not sure. It's a bit of a dangerous game to play, but I might turn off the scrubbers. Let's turn off the scrubber, and that should generate a bit more carbon dioxide. We don't want to dump anything, really. Yeah, because that's at the moment it's dumping carbon dioxide. We don't want that. We want to retain carbon dioxide. There we go. And does that mean that our greenhouse, wherever it is a bit more happy? Getting more carbon dioxide, which is nice. We'll let that gather a little bit before anything else, and that should be okay. The scrubber's running there, so that should be fine. That's at least gathering carbon dioxide. Right, there is no more ignitions on that, so let's get Bill out here. Right, service. Service. There we go. This is why you need an engineer on these long trips, because otherwise it's such a pain. Right, here we go. So we are now just orbiting Minmus. Exciting stuff. We should be able to reduce that. There we go. Let's do that orbit. We'll then release the probe. That then has a nice constant view of Kerbin, which should be nice, so it should never lose contact. That's amazing. We'll do that, release the probe, and then we will go in for a landing. Right, we still should technically have plenty of Delta V after we've done this maneuver even to go again, so we might have to get Bill out once more again to renew this engine. If we can use as much fuel before we have to use the 4 engines here, that would be ideal. Right, while we're just waiting to get into the right path for the maneuver, another question. What is your current computer and audio setup? Not ideal is basically the best answer. I've got a Ryzen 3600 with a 1066 gigabyte graphics card, 32 gigabytes of RAM, although that's way overkill. I just decided to get it at, I think it's, if I remember correctly, 3200. So yeah, so that's basically my computer setup. It's got a load of storage in it. I think I've got like 3 drives in it now, and I just record everything to one particular drive, and then we go from there. I think it's about 2 terabytes worth of storage collectively I've got. So yeah, I built it all myself. Yeah, so it's probably not the best situation, but it's not too bad. My audio setup. So my mic, I have a Razer Series Elite mic set up with a little mic arm, pop filter, and a couple other bits just to help add to it. Yeah, I mean, it's an upgrade because I used to have the Snowball Ice microphone, which is perfectly good. Actually, it's really good. For the price, it's like incredibly good. I upgraded it recently to the Razer. In terms of price point, it probably isn't worth the upgrade, but actually, there's a slight difference, which has been quite nice. The only problem is the Razer is significantly heavier, so actually the arm that I got for the Ice, technically, although it works, it's struggling a little bit more with the weight. So yeah, I've also got dual monitors, although one of my monitors is really good, the other's pretty crap, which is my original monitor. I've got that portrait, which I then view all my recordings off of, and also anything I need to say or anything like that, and my other one is my main gameplay one. I have a little sound bar that I kind of turn off, or if I'm playing personally, I turn it on, and I've just got headphones in. Basically, that's my audio setup. It's nothing special. Right then, let's speed up time a little bit more, and let's get into this maneuver. Right, here we go. Let's slowly start it off. How much fuel do we have left? Loads. What I'll do, actually, is I'll turn the thruster right down. Actually, let's just turn it off. Let's turn it off. That's fine. There we go. That's a pretty good orbit of Minmus. 700, 500. I mean, it's not quite perfect, but it'll do. Not gonna be perfect. Let us, wherever it is, there we go, undock that. Let's swap to this. Extend the solar panel. Extend the solar panel. Extend the antenna. There we go. And then if we want to transmit any data from Minmus, we can, which is great. I've just realized I didn't add a scanner. Oh, I'm a dingbat. Yeah, I was meant to add a scanner so that I could actually view the planet and see the resources that are on there, but I'm not able to do that now, am I? No. Okay. Fine. Well, at least it's still useful for transmitting data, I suppose. That's still fine. We've got a tiny amount of fuel left. Like, teeny, teeny, tiny. Let's reduce until we are about... Let's have a little look. So we want to basically land here or near enough, because on the flats, because I think there's quite a lot of protection from radiation as well as there is water there. I know that for definite. I don't know about ammonia and nitrogen, but water is the most important thing, so we might as well. I think technically we can get hydrogen in one of our processors from water anyway, so that's fine. Nitrogen I don't think is 100% needed from what I remember, and we've got tons of it, so we should be all right. 50, I think we'll be safe at 30. That's fine, then that should make it significantly easier once we get there to do our thing. We only need 23 to do that, but we've got 49 minutes, and at that point, we can then send Bill out to repair it again, and then we can do it. I don't really want to have to land with this thing, but if we can do, that's some extra storage. If we can just drop it nearby without damaging it, that might be preferable. You're really getting your money's worth today, aren't you, Bill? There we go. Someone forgot a toothpick. Well, I wonder who that was. Bill. We're going to want to reduce that down to basically that. That's technically still enough. So we're probably going to have to get Bill out once again after we do this. How much do we have? 500 now. After this burn, it'll probably be half that. Come on, one last little push, and then you'll be free. I could leave it in space. I think it's a bit of a risk if I then fired these off, because I think the engines would technically just burn into this and destroy it. I think we'll have to basically just let it go. I don't know whether to decouple it in space or not, or whether we risk using this to land. Transfer some of the fuel from that to that. Possibly. We could technically do that. I don't know. I'll have a think. Right, a couple of other potato-styled questions now, which is a bit weird. If there was a game where you play as a literal potato, would you play that game? Yes. Quite simply, yes, I would, and I would love it. I actually nearly did a series on Spore where I was going to play as a potato, quite early on, actually. There's a little brief snippet of it in my little channel intro video. I recorded basically the whole thing. Like, it took a few hours because I played on the hardest difficulty. I played as a potato with no arms, no legs, no eyes, and I kind of very hidden mouth, just because technically you have to have a mouth in Spore. And it was really hard. It took a number of hours to do, and once I'd finished recording, I'd realized that somehow 90% of the footage was screwed up, and it was unusable. And I ended up scrapping the project. I was going to do it, and it didn't really feel like it fitted the channel as well as I wanted it to, especially because soon after that, I'd started Project Zomboid, that had taken off, and yeah, I decided not to. But if you guys want me to do a playthrough of Spore where I play as a literal potato, I will happily do that, because it is quite a lot of fun, and now that I've got my recording stuff set up a lot better, I shouldn't have that same issue anymore. On the topic of potatoes, what is your favorite way to eat potatoes? It's a hard one because it depends on my mood. I think roast potatoes tend to be my go-to in terms of favorite potato, especially when they're done properly and with like bacon, garlic. They taste absolutely amazing. Like if I was just to choose like for most meals, probably dauphinoise, because it's just amazing, and with cheese and everything, it's just, you can't really beat potatoes and cheese. So I think that's probably what I would go for. Roast potatoes are like comfort food niceties, and it's what I look forward to most, kind of like at roast dinners and things. But then the humble mashed potato is also amazing if you do it well. So they're like my top three. I weirdly don't like boiled potatoes. I don't know why. I just don't like them. Flavor's completely taken out of it, which is bizarre, but that's kind of what I feel like. And I also don't like it when you put mint with new potatoes. I don't know why. I just don't think mint and new potatoes go together. I know they technically do, but to me, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I love mint, love potatoes, but together, no. So annoyingly, I think we're just going to miss the window of opportunity to actually land on the flats. I want to land as close to one of the poles as possible so that we have continuous light, but the closest we can really get to that is probably like here. So we won't have too little light, but we'll have to wait for that to kind of go full circle. There we go, and that should be okay. Let's wait a little bit, just until the moon is in the right place, and then we will land this thing. Right, okay, I think this is going to be our best shot, technically. I want to land here. So, let's get into retrograde. Let's reduce the thrusters that little bit more, just so it's basically minimal. Right, how much fuel is left in this? We still got like 340. Oh dear. Right, well, we need to reduce it about to here, is my guess. But even still, it's going down so slowly. Let's try and up the thrust a little bit more. Double it. And stop. Right, and there we go. Right, so how much fuel is left in this now? A teeny tiny amount. Now, if I do try and burn this without a ignition left, it runs the risk of basically destroying the engine. We're not that fussed about it anyway, so I think it's probably worth the risk. So we are coming into land. Let's wait till we get to like there. So 5 minutes time, and then we'll try igniting it again. If it fails, we'll just separate and launch the engines that we've got. So while we wait, a couple more questions. What is your favorite mod ever in Project Zomboid? Oh, that's not fair. Oh god, there's so many of them. I mean, can I just Can I use Snake's mod pack as a thing? It's technically a mod that you subscribe to, one mod, and it has like 10 different things in it. To be fair, it is an amazing mod pack. You get so much stuff. I haven't really shown all of it on camera when I've done my series, but there's so many little maps it adds. The weapon attachment stuff is amazing. So if I can use that as the mod, then that. Although I do love KI5's vehicle mods. They are just incredible, especially the Land Rovers. Since day one, I've loved those Land Rovers. So maybe I should say that as my preferred mod. If I had to just add one mod, it would probably be a vehicle mod, to be fair, because they don't really alter vanilla at all. And they're really well balanced and they're just really nice. So yeah, probably that. Right, next question. Which island do you live on and what island would you rather live on given the choice? Is that out of any island in the world or just the islands over here? I live on St. Mary's, which is the biggest of the islands, and I would probably stay on this island compared to the others. There's nothing wrong with the others, but there's a lot of issues that go on if you live on one of the off islands. Like there's no proper shops over there. There's not really the same infrastructure as on the biggest island, St. Mary's. So I would probably stay with St. Mary's out of the lot of them. If it was any island in the world, the problem is that I love to go place on holiday, which are like little islands where it's like beautiful scenery, sunshine, gloriousness. But I'm very much, I burn to a crisp in the sun. I prefer the cold over the heat. So in small doses, like a week or so, I would love to live on just a tiny little tropical island. It would be paradise. I would love it. But I wouldn't want to live there. I'm quite happy here, to be honest. I think I'm quite happy where I am. It's got everything I need. It's pretty chill. I mean, my only gripe is all the tourists that come over and kind of ruin it. But apart from them, if you get rid of them, this place is perfect. Absolutely, absolutely glorious. Okay, and time for another one. Where do you mostly get your verbal skills from? Because all your videos are beautiful gameplay followed up by beautiful narration and commentary. Oh, thank you. Heavy editing. I think most of my verbal skills are very much the result of heavy editing on my part. I think normally without editing, there's quite a lot of pauses. Sometimes I say the wrong thing or I get my tongue tied and stuff and I have to repeat myself. If I did a recording without editing, it would probably be clear that my verbal skills are not as clear as it would appear. But all the narration I do is ad lib, basically, apart from, I think, 2 episodes of Project Zomboid where I scripted it. Like 99% of my episodes, if there is narration, it's just ad lib. So I guess the answer really is lots of practices and editing, because my early videos were nowhere near as clear as this. If you want to see my unedited videos, you could watch my first series I ever did, the Minecraft one, Terra Firma Craft Plus, because, yeah, I don't edit that, and you can tell that my verbal skills are not that good just from that. But I think I've come quite a long way since then, so, yeah. I think practice and heavy editing is the answer, though. Right, we should probably concentrate, to be honest, because it's coming in for landing. What's it looking like? Yeah, by the time we get there, we should just be over the flats. That's really good. We'll get rid of that. We'll just go on to retrograde, and that'll be fine. Right, I'm thinking let's turn gimbal on these fixed. That should help significantly. Okay, it did fire. Good. Right, let's try and just line this up a bit then. Just use the last of this to line it up. We're for some reason rotating a lot. I don't really want to rotate. How many things? We've got 6 ignitions. We're fine. We're good. Right, let's retract these. We will actually retract these as well, just for the time being. Let's get the landing legs out. Coming in nice and steady. Plenty of fuel left over. Want to slow down a little bit more. We want to get kind of below 7 meters per second. I mean, the slower the better, really, but 7 is acceptable. I think we're going a bit too fast there. There we go. I mean, if we can get lower than 5, will be ideal, but I think 7, technically, the legs should be able to withstand that. There might be a little bit of bounce, but we should be okay. Oh, look at this smooth landing. This is amazing. 100 meters to go. 70 meters to go. 25 meters to go. And I think we're good. We're good. We landed. Right, extend. Expand the habitat. Extend the antenna. There was a bit of overlap between that and the solar panels. Did not think about that, but that's fine. Expand the habitats. Extend the radiators. They're slowly inflating. What is it using to do that? I think it's just nitrogen, isn't it? Yeah, it's just really, really slow. We just need to wait for these habitats to inflate fully, and we're good. We don't need these solar panels then, presumably. Anyway, let's get our guys out. Jebediah, right, get down here. There we go. There we go. Right, we're going to want to undock that. Board. That's right. Go. Come on. Come on then. We can do this. Oh no. Okay, we're fine. We're good. Unless we go upside down. Come on, we can write ourselves up. We're on Minmus. Oh dear. Can you get out? Leave seat. Oh. Oh no. Okay, well we fixed it, but the solar panel is absolute. Oh god. The buggy. What did it just destroy? Oh god, there's stuff everywhere. Oh no, the buggy. No. Oh dear. Come on, just write this up. Oh no. This is the only problem with gravity on Minmus, is this sort of stuff happens all the time. Oh dear. Right, maybe get out the way of the falling buggy. No, 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 no. Okay, yes, it's very, very close. Oh, you can tell I haven't played in a while, can't you? Right, anyway, but we did it, guys. A bit of a broken rocket, but it's our broken rocket. Little random bits of radiator all around us, but we did it. Let's plant our little flag. There was a few more questions I've got to answer. What's my favorite pet? Dog. That's just standard dog. Although I've always wanted a lizard, weirdly. Leopard gecko or something would be nice. Yay, there we go. Right. We've got it. Collect a little surface sample. Yeah, my favorite animal of all time? Probably lemurs, because they're awesome. I love them. They're just incredibly cool. They're a little bit different, a little bit alien compared to primates. I've also had one lick my hand, a ringtail lemur, which was incredibly fun. Because when I went to a zoo in France, apparently they were just able to jump over the fence, which was quite funny. How old are you? How old am I? It's got to, I'm that age where I've forgotten how old I am. 28. I think I'm 28. Yes, 28. And final question, which I've got, is beer, wine, whiskey, or something else? It depends what I'm doing. My tipple of choice is probably gin. I love gin just because it's great. Preferably gin and tonic if it's a nice tonic. If I'm not feeling up to tonic, then lemonade is fine, but tonic's preferable. If I'm actually drinking for the fun of it, probably rum. I do love rum. In terms of actual rum, dark rum is preferable. Favorite brand? Dead Man's Finger is a Cornish rum that's incredibly nice. I really like that. Also Kraken, that's a really nice rum. Really, really like that. Although I do like beer, whether that's lager or actual ale. Either way, I like pretty much all drinks. Whiskey I'm not overly fussed about, but I quite like rye whiskey. Things like brandy and whiskey, the only things I don't really like that much. I think gin is probably my preferred choice of actual drink itself. Right, and just to finish off, let's get the rest of these guys out of here. Yay, we did it. We got to Minmus. We are all good. We are all good. Oh, well, that was fun. We technically have all the stuff we do to make some setups and science equipment and stuff, but this has taken a lot longer than I thought it was going to, so I'm probably going to leave it there, because I've answered all the questions. We've got to Minmus. We've got all the stuff technically to have our little base going along. It's 83% done. Let's just fast forward a little bit. There we go. Look at that. Slowly inflating. The rover's batteries are nearly empty. I don't care. I don't care. And look, there we go. It's rotating. This is all set up nice. Have a look at our stats. What are our stats looking like? Exposed to moderate radiation. Ooh. Okay, that's not very good. But we're fine. We're fine. Everything's a-okay. Nothing to worry about. We've got plenty of food. Electrical charge isn't great. That's because we need to expand the solar panels. We need to expand our antenna. And now we're good. Look at that. Beautiful. Our little base is set up. Oh, look at that. That is amazing. We are good. We're good for a long old time now. Like, let's look at this. We've got 9 years worth of food, 21 years worth of water, 29 years worth of oxygen, perpetual carbon dioxide, 68 years of nitrogen, perpetual hydrogen, and perpetual ammonia. We're fine. Anyway, this is a little bit of Kerbalism, a little bit of what you could expect if I did. I mean, this is very, very advanced compared to what it is, but this is the sort of thing that I would be doing in a series if I did do it. Doing it properly, because unlike this failure, I would actually be concentrating to know what I'm doing, get some proper scanners, and know where to actually land. But, yeah, I hope you liked it. I know it's a bit of a weird one, but I hope you like the question and answers. I hope you like me failing miserably at Kerbal Space Program. This is clearly one of the games I love, that I would love to be on the channel, but I'm awful at. So, yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Cheers. Bye-bye.